I don't know if you've heard of Alkaline's trio song Radio.
I have heard about which album.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I listened to the band, but I don't remember the song specifically.
The song says, if Columbus was wrong, I'd fall straight off the edge. So, I have a question for you. Do you think that Columbus was right or that he was wrong? And do you think there's an outside layer of huge ass ice walls that prevent you from falling off the edge of the earth? Because let's be honest, it's flat.
I mean, look. Geographically, he was right. Ethically, he was a bit of a nitwit.
No, but the thing I wanted to talk about is flat earthers in the 21st century who,
ironically, they're the most prevalent in the 21st century.
Yep.
Like, this wasn't a discussion growing up.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember one person growing up as a child who seriously nonchalantly believed that the Earth was flat?
No.
Exactly.
And the funniest thing to me is, you've seen their map, right?
Yeah.
You do know that that map is to prove that the Earth is a sphere seen from one pole. Like, how can you believe in a theory that's not even a theory, dude? It's... How can you believe in something so stupid and you use the map that disproves your whole concept? Like, I understand how their defense is, throughout the years, like throughout the centuries, people believed the Earth was flat and they all knew until Galileo and all those people, started making up stuff. No! We've known that the Earth is a sphere, a globe, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like 1,000 years before Christ. Then you had the Greeks who measured it almost perfectly. Like, how, dude? How? And the funniest thing is, they're like, no, but wasn't Galileo burned for that? Like,
no.
He was never burned, dude!
No.
He was never burned! And to me, it's just funny how nowadays it's just a rising concept, a wrong concept that has received a lot of popularity through, and I'm sorry for saying this, Facebook groups. First of all, no scientist is gonna join a Facebook group to argue with someone.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Yes, they will. You don't know enough scientists if you don't think that.
Like, there's a wonderful group on Facebook which I dearly love, Flat Earthers No Trolls. Peak comedy. Peak comedy. And the amount of people who joined that group just to talk about how, they said that the Earth is round, but where can you see the curvature? Like, do you not know how small we are compared to the size of the planet? But if you go into space, you can't see the curvature. Again, do you know how high you need to be up? Like, to me, it's just mind-boggling when you have all these free books, free researches that just prove your point. Like, prove your point that the Earth is a globe. And I'm just gonna say this before I let you talk. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen an episode, but they have a wonderful episode about this, where Mac, who is a Christian, who believes in some bonkers stuff, he's like, so, Aristotle was wrong because he did this, which is wrong. Galileo's wrong because he did this. And then Dennis is like, dude, you read some bonkers book from people you've never met and take them as truths. And Meg goes, so what you're saying is you've met the researchers and the scientists. Aren't you also taking knowledge from books from people you've never read? And this is such a prominent fucking argument with flat earthers. Like, yes, of course, I've never met anyone who has written a book about how the Earth is a globe. Of course, I haven't met a person like that. But it doesn't take much to do your own experiment. Like, gravity doesn't exist. Okay? Yeah, we're just on the disk and that's why you can't fall off. Like, dude.
Also, you know what the funniest premise is about flat earthers? It isn't the earth is flat. It's that it's the only flat plane in existence. Every other planet is round, except for the earth.
They aren't planets. They're stars.
I know.
There's a difference in their terminology.
It's obviously you associate more flat earthers than me, as you mentioned the group.
Yeah.
I have certainly not yet become a part of that group.
You have
maybe after this video, but not yet. Like,
can I cut you off again real quick?
Sure.
They had a wonderful video explaining the day-night cycle.
Does it go under a hat?
No.
What is it then?
You have the moon and the sun, and they rotate like separately from one another. That's why one half is always, daylight, one half is always night. You can't have both night on, like, you can't have night throughout the whole earth. What about the solar eclipse? How do you explain the solar eclipse then? It's just hilarious to me.
Look, there's not a single anecdote about flat earthers that I think is reasonable or rational, at the least. Like, recently, I was watching a video about this comedian, I think it is. I'm not even sure if he's a comedian, but he was basically on a podcast. Yeah, he was a funny guy, a funny fellow. He was on a podcast talking about how
for 3 years.
Yep, he pretended to be a flat earther for 3 years until one day his wife came into his room concerned. And while he was writing a post about flat earth, mind you, while he was writing a post about the earth being flat,
She was in the same group I mentioned.
Yeah, concerned. Okay, I can't do this anymore. All our friends and family are concerned that you're actually doing this. For real. I keep telling him, no, it's a joke, you're just pretending, but I can't keep it up anymore. And that's when he had to stop. Like, he pretended to be a flat earther for 3 years, and they bought it. And he would continuously write more outrageous things, but like more and more outrageous things, and they just ate it up. Like, do you know how outrageous your belief has to be as a baseline?
Yep.
For someone to be able to hide themselves away for 3 years.
You wanna know what's funny about that? While he was pretending to be a flat earther, every single flat earther in the group shared his stories, praised him, and when he confessed that he's not actually a flat earther, they banned him. They deleted everything from him.
No, but that's what I say. Like, as a movement, it has so many outrageous stories that whatever you say, they just take it up. Just eat it up. Don't even take it with like reasonable doubt or a grain of salt or anything. Nope, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just funny.
you know what? I also find funny. Whenever a flat earther has tried to disprove the theory, they actually prove that Earth is round.
Yep. You know what flat earther, like, people who believe in flat earth and people who actually do research on flat earth, you know what they remind me of? You mentioned this earlier. Our life is turning to Ed and Eddie. They are just trying to find the most ridiculous ways to make money.
Yep.
That's what they do. Like, I'm sure that every single researcher who is a flat earther, who's not a devoted Christian, is doing it just for shits and giggles. Like, I'll die on that hill. I'll die on that fucking hill.
Let's look. To me, actually, the more interesting implication isn't that the Earth is flat, but that all governments of the Earth are in cahoots to keep you away from the edge.
Yep.
Like, wasn't one of the theories that there's armed guards posted at the edge constantly patrolling it? Like, huh?
I mean, it's funny how, yes, every single picture we have from NASA uses Photoshop. They don't hide that. They even said they use Photoshop just to come closer to what the planet actually looks like. Because our cameras aren't that powerful. Like, how can you be so stupid? Or, oh, but you know what? Why can't we see what's behind the moon? Like, what's on the dark side of the moon? Because that's where the government is and they're trying to hide everything. Dude!
More moon. Dude! That's on the dark side of the moon. More moon.
I don't know, it's just funny to me.
Flat earthers.
Well,
Can't live with them. Can't live in them.
I'm gonna try and preserve our brain cells and also yours. So, let us know if you think the Earth is flat, is it donut shape, or my new favorite theory that it's seahorse shape. And as always, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.